All right, guys, welcome to Rich by Friday. This is Young Cole. This is my host,
This is
co-host.
Alan Changs. This is V.
What up, fellas? What's going on?
Please introduce yourself. Tell the guests.
My name is Vito. I'm from Brooklyn, and I'm a gambler.
You're a gambler. How'd you get into gambling?
It's a long time ago, bro. We used to shoot dice in my neighborhood, like right on the corner. People just, a bunch of friends get together. You're chilling on the corner. You're hanging out, maybe having a couple of drinks. Shoot dice, CeeLo. CeeLo is a crazy volatile game because if you're banking, you can go,
How do you play CeeLo?
So it's 3 dice, right? And so you roll a dice, and the 2 dice that land on one number and the off dice is your number.
Okay.
Okay, and then there's 1, 2, 3 in consecutive on 1, 2, 3 on each dice. That's an automatic loss.
Okay.
4, 5, 6 is an automatic win if you're the bank. So now you're basically the banker, and you're shooting against, people are shooting against you in a circle. So now I roll, now everybody has to beat the number. And each individual will pay you as they lose.
So you grew up playing CeeLo. You grew up playing Chinese poker.
I want to play CeeLo right now. I actually want to bring CeeLo into the casino.
That'd be a really interesting game. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you right now, there'd be a lot of fucking people looking to do it.
How would you bank? What kind of structure would it be in the casino for it to work?
It would be the same thing as Casino War.
Yeah.
50-50, you take
It would be.
5% off.
Yep,
the
5%.
top.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that? We should look into it.
And so you started playing CeeLo. How old were you?
I was 13.
So it's you and other 13-year-olds, or you're
Nah,
going?
there's people that are 20, 30, everybody's shooting. You know what I mean? It's like in the summertime, everybody's hanging out on the block, we're chilling.
They still
This
shooting.
is a Bronx tale.
This is a Bronx tale in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yep, corner of 21st Street and 5th Avenue. Yep.
Did you win?
In the early going, no, because I always was one of the shooters.
Okay.
Until I ran my money up and then realized, you got to be the bank to make this bread.
You got to be the house.
The bank got
You got to be the
advantage.
house.
What's the advantage on the bank?
So the advantage on the bank is you're getting paid by everybody. You understand? When you're the shooter, you're only getting paid for your
Yeah,
run.
but when you run bad, you're going to have to pay everybody.
Well, and hence the reason why we're sitting here gambling. So basically, what you can call out what you want on the bank, right? You could say, okay, look, I'm coming in right now, I'm banking 500. Now those rollers have to break down what they're rolling per roll,
Okay.
and they got to do it within the bank,
So the maximum that can be out there is 500.
if that's your bank.
Okay.
Now, once you bust, the bank is up, whoever wants it. You know what I'm saying? But if you catch a roll for hours, like
Who rolls first, the bank or the players?
bang,
So if you roll 4, 5, 6, it's over.
take
it's automatic. Everybody scoops, gives me their money.
That's
I roll
gotta be the
I roll
edge.
1, 2, 3. I pay everybody.
That's a fun game. Let's play. Ready? Young,
So
how did you start out gambling?
Me?
Yeah.
You guys heard my story a couple weeks ago, but I started gambling with my grandparents. My grandma came and she taught me how to play like a Korean card game.
you had the Korean grandma in the back of the deli that's like, come on, let's gamble.
No, she just wanted to hang. No, she wanted to hang out with her grandson.
Korean nana in the back playing those cards.
No, she was visiting. She lived in Korea at that time.
Right.
So she was visiting. She wanted to like hang out with her grandson. Okay, and I'm like a little kid, so I guess normal people go and get ice cream. But we're at home, and she taught me how to play this game, and I was like, "Oh, this is really easy in my head." And I was like, I started beating my grandma, I beat my aunt, and I was like, "This is gambling. This is easy money." I said, "This is foul money," and I kept playing. And next thing I know, I thought that's how gambling works. You can only win.
And now you do it for a living.
You try.
The interesting part of gambling, it's funny because see, I always look at you like, yo, this kid is mad smart, right? And you'll take that very, very smart kid that's on that side, and then you take the real guy that grew up in the street like me, and it's like the world's mesh, and it's like, holy shit, that's how guys like me and you become cool, right?
100%. Like on the poker table, there's so many interesting people, like
Personalities and stuff.
people from different worlds, and I don't think you would ever hang out, meet these people outside.
Nah, I would never hang out with you, no.
But that's two different gambling. One is street gambling. One is gambling by the rules. There's no rules, or it's dangerous.
We're talking about the personality of a person who plays, because there is poker, right? So now we'll get into that. We all play poker. There's this super intelligent MIT kid, and then there's a guy who's just good with numbers like me, and then the world's mesh, and it's like, you would never think you would talk to most of these people. So it does build a lot of bridges, and new relationships. You know what I'm
100%.
saying?
Wait, how'd you guys meet?
How did I meet? Me and Vito. How do we meet?
We met in a card game. We
yeah.
met in a card game
You told me
through
you clipped your ass in the card game.
hell no.
Yes.
Through mutual friends, we met in a card game. And then it's the camaraderie of seeing somebody every week and like, hey, what's up, man? What's up, man? But once again, Alan's super quiet. Like I didn't know that he was, from the street and stuff like that. And me coming from my background, you kind of just be careful on who you're gonna say hi to and who you're not. So start saying hi, and then eventually you get to talking, and we're kind of the same, right? Just from different worlds, but we're the same. Our objective is the same. Two of probably the better players in the game, and we just became friends.
He's only quiet when, he's being shy.
Yeah.
When he's out there, he's out there, man.
Yeah, I've learned that.
You
that
be
a little
out
bit.
there. I be out there.
I be outside, right? So
So you went from CeeLo to poker, or?
I went from CeeLo to sports betting.
Oh no.
Get
No, you
introduced.
should know something about
So
sports.
so this is the real true Bronx Tale story, right? So you get introduced through a bookie.
Okay.
For those who don't know, maybe like Joey No-Nos or, someone like that, an Italian guy. And because you know him, and I grew up around all these people, you get a ridiculous credit limit because their objective
So bury you.
is to bury you. And it's all good because it's a free roll. You can't win, right? Yeah. Especially with, the juice that you were laying in these days. So you can't win, so they're trying to bury you. So at 17 years old, I had a $100,000 credit limit with a bookie. 17 years old.
And you got buried for 100,000.
Numerous times.
So how'd you pay?
You borrow from Peter to pay Paul, like we all do. Like we're probably still doing to this day.
I wouldn't even pay.
No, so here's the trick, and people have been doing this since the beginning of time, right? You lose that 100K to this guy, and then you try to give him a little something and go up a line with another guy, because in these days, there's bookies everywhere, because remember, it's still illegal. So now there's competition amongst that business, and people are dying for your business. Yeah. So then you try to go to this guy, try to win and pay back that guy, which never pans out, and you just go further in debt. But we'll get deeper into that as we go.
So what happens if you don't pay?
I mean, I guess there's this whole, I'll break your legs type thing, but it doesn't really happen that way. Like, especially if you're, once again, we're from different worlds. You guys are, Alan's Chinese, you're Korean, I'm Italian. I come from that Italian world, so nobody was gonna break my legs. It was just gonna be a little bit,
Give me an account. Nobody breaking legs, give me an account. I need a
No, they might break your legs, they're not breaking mine, because I'm a neighborhood kid that they know. But you do get in trouble. Like I was in trouble with certain people and little threats here and there, but you work through it, because the thrill of the gamble is worth the threats.
The dopamine.
Yeah, the dopamine that you.
Trust me, I know all about it. I know all about it.
I'm starting to learn.
Tell us about it.
No, there's a lot of dopamine because especially like I like to bet parlays, which is the fishiest bet to make. But when you're on that last leg and you see you could turn a small number like $100 into 10,000, let's say.
See, you guys are super lucky because we didn't have that. Like with those house bookies in those days, you couldn't bet $100 to win 10K.
FanDuel, DraftKings, they make all their money because everyone bets parlays.
Yes, but the high of hitting that parlay is such a good feeling to the gambler. We weren't allowed that feeling, is what I'm saying. Gotcha. I used to play what is called reverses. So I was betting at my highest $5,000 reverses, which means you're risking $11,000 to win 20 in 2 games.
Okay.
If you split, you lose 6,000. If you lose both, obviously use the 11. If you win 20.
So that's easy. 2 games, 20,000.
So you
Give
say.
me an account.
Yeah. In Alan's world, yes, it's easy to win 2 games.
Alan told me back in the day about like some website, I forgot what it was called, but he said you could bet open parlays. So you
I've
don't
never
have
seen them anymore.
No more, because I'll tell you why they did away with that.
I think I'll clip them.
It's a huge edge to the player.
100%.
So they did away with it because house bookies were doing that at some point. Remember when like teasers just
Open
came into
teasers
play?
also.
Open teasers, people started inquiring about open parlays, and what happened was if you didn't have it, your clients were going elsewhere.
So where is it now?
They're gone because it's a huge edge to the player.
what's that?
Back then, like that website, 5 dimes, they had that.
They took anything. That website was the best. Took anything.
They did open teasers, open parlays. I'm sure probably overseas they still have these accounts somewhere.
I'm sure somewhere in Costa Rica or
Anybody
something like
knows
that. Or
where to find open teasers, please comment.
call in if somebody will give us an open
Yo, give me
parlay
open
somewhere.
parlays. I'm
We got a
clicking.
bunch of degenerates. Anybody want to make some money? Give some accounts.
But so
Yeah. By the way, segue. If there's a house bookie that wants to give away an account and you got like a bad heart or something, let us know. We need a couple of accounts on this side.
We're not paying.
We'll pay you out every week.
you know what's crazy? I might not remember the last sports bet I made, but I remember how I got hooked onto it. It was the Patriots Falcons game. And
That was your first bet?
it was the most memorable bet because I was in college, I was with my friend, and I took the Patriots and he took the Falcons. And at halftime,
Best scenario ever. You want to kill each other at some point and he's your boy.
bro, no, it was like at that time we bet $100 with each other. We're in college, we have no money, and at that time $100, like we were really sweating $100. And at halftime, he's all happy, jolly, and I'm like, you know what, this is Tom Brady. And he was like, if you want to bet more on the Patriots, he's like, I'll give you odds, I'll give you 5-1. You can bet another 100 or something.
At halftime, you thought you were dead.
Of course, but you know what? I was like, I guess this is the gamble with me because I was like, you know what? Screw it. Give me another 100 on them. Yo, the next third and fourth quarter, it was
That game was crazy.
crazy.
I still remember that game like that was one of the best games to ever watch, man.
and
was the
that's
greatest
probably
comeback,
what got me so hooked on kind of long shots, which is why I like parlays because it was a long shot.
No wonder why. That's why you got his jersey over there.
Yo, Tom Brady's the GOAT.
Oh, so you're a Brady fan, okay.
Jersey.
man. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Because Young Cole knows him personally. He voted to him.
You're a big football fan, though.
Huge, and this is where it all starts. It starts because you love the game. You know, I'm 17 now, 18, making some money. You love football.
You're a Giants fan?
Hell no.
What? Jets fan.
Hell no.
One thing I learned from sports betting is you can't bet as a fan.
No, I never bet as a fan, but the attraction to football is what made me gamble.
Okay, so how
Right.
did you get into that?
So real quick, I'm a Packer fan.
Packer.
Shout out to the green and yellow. My mom came home one day, gave me a helmet, 6 years old, stuck with it the rest of my life.
So now,
Till now, to this day, I've been to Wisconsin, I've been to a bunch of Packer games, travel all over to watch them play, super like fan. Never bet on them, never bet against them.
So you truly enjoy just watching them.
I watch
for the thrill.
I could sit in front of a football. I sit on a Sunday for 12 hours. I watch football all day and don't budge.
You know what's crazy? I can't do that. I mean, I could do it, but I wouldn't do it. I need action.
I'll be honest, that red zone has changed the game, right? For guys like us that are action guys, because that catered to the action. Like, you know,
I gotta bet
it's
something
just, but it's just
watching
cutting
the
to
game
every
is
touchdown.
buff.
Every time it's just cutting to a touchdown, which is what the gambler wants to see. Remember, you're watching a boring ass Jet game and you bet the Jets, you're just hanging on rooting for the Jets all day. When you're betting 20 different games and it's just clipping to touchdowns, that guy, whoever invented red zone, is a genius because it caters to the gambler.
do you guys feel when you bet the game goes faster? When I watch the game and I don't bet,
No.
that shit is so slow, so boring.
Really?
When I bet, that shit
No,
goes so
I gotta be
fast.
honest, I never felt like that. That's a little.
The only
nah.
time I think the game goes fast is when I
When
bet
you're
the
losing.
over. No, when I bet the over. The clock is drained. When I bet the under, the game moves.
Nah, you gotta bet the first quarter, second quarter, the game goes fast.
Yeah, see, this is all new. I'm a little older than you guys, so that whole first quarter stuff, I don't know. That shit's too complicated. It's hard enough to get a winner in my eyes.
Nah, football is different. That's my favorite sport to bet on, though. That's where
Who's your team? Who's your guys' teams?
See me, I like football also.
Who's your squad?
I just love the sport, so I don't have like a favorite team.
Joe?
I used to be a big Brady fan, but
Oh, so you're a front runner. That's okay.
no.
Yeah, all right.
I'm
Yeah.
originally from LA. We didn't have a team.
But you're from LA, but you don't cheer for the Patriots. LA is not Boston, so
No, but
you're
I
a
went
front runner.
to
fan.
school in New England.
You got the LA
So
Rams,
I have
the
a bunch
Chargers,
of- all my friends were New
Oakland
England.
Raiders over there.
Let me guess, you're a Laker fan too, right, buddy?
Of course.
Yeah, see?
Dodger fan.
Yeah,
Laker
yeah,
fan.
Dodgers, Lakers, every team that's unstoppable, sure.
Yeah, the Lakers. The Lakers is never gonna win a championship ever again.
You crazy? They're gonna win one this year. Watch plus
shot.
5,000.
No shot.
Book it.
Booked.
So you got into sports gambling.
Yeah.
You always just gambled. You were never like had the opportunity, like in CeeLo, to be the house where you could make some money
So,
with the edge.
okay. So what happens is I get into trouble. And when I mean trouble, I mean real trouble. So what I was doing was from borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, what happens is I fell into like a $500,000 hole
From betting?
from betting.
And you're only 17?
I'm about 18 at this
You
time.
fish.
Terrible. Can't hit a winner to save my life. Straight bum, right? And mind you, in this span, I won $200,000 one week. In the span of losing all this money, I had a $200,000 winner.
So you
For the
really
week.
lost like 700,000.
Maybe more, close to an M. Because, so now,
What year was this?
so you're looking at probably 2000.
You're saying you
roughly.
won 200, then you
200.
lost the 200 and 500 more?
I lost the 200 back and about 800 more total.
$1 million in 2000 must be like what nowadays?
That's a lot.
So I lose with one guy where I have a $100,000 credit limit, right? Now I'm putting him at bay with like 20K. I'm like, oh, you know, I'll give me a couple of days, you know, and then I open another line for 100K and then another line for 100K. And then the ultimate scheme comes. Bookies in these days were giving guys what's called a sheet, right?
Okay.
So a sheet entails that you have, now you're trying to be the bookie. So a sheet entails that you have, let's say 10 guys, right, that want to bet. Now collectively, all those guys bet for the week and the sheet you would make 50% of whatever they lose. And if they win, you go into what's called a red, which red means until you make that money back, you don't make a dollar, right? So now what I do, I say, oh wow, 10 players. I start betting myself as all 10 players and trying to get the 50% back on each sheet.
That's actually genius.
Then I have two bookies. I bet the opposite side of 10 games and pray it falls one way and get paid from this guy and lose to this guy because you lose 50% on this side and you win 100% on this
Wait,
side.
that sounds like a money hack because theoretically, if you get 50% rebate from one guy, and you bet
50%.
both games,
Wait,
you will
They
make
get
money no matter what.
50% rebate back then?
If you had 10 or more players. But now in these days, remember, you're not talking about a time where people know about IP addresses, right? So you could just go on your own device or you can call and have I could have my buddy call and be like, yo, dude, do me a favor, call up, say this, start another account, start this. You know what I mean? So now you'll have guys doing it where they can't track it, right? So we're all firing into the same out and you're getting 50% back.
But Peter and Paul never talk to each other?
They don't know each other. Until you run into two people that do know each other and then it becomes a big deal.
I only heard of like 10 to 20% back.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
no,
never
no.
heard of 50%.
50% was a huge thing when I was coming up. This is where I got in trouble with the 50%. This is where it all went bad.
I'll take a shot too, 50% back. I'll beat them. Can you give me one?
No, that doesn't exist anymore because now
I wonder why they
gamblers have an
business.
edge now.
They ran
You know
out
what I mean?
business
But no,
50% back.
no, they don't have it no more. I fell into a huge hole. I wind up making deals with everybody. Okay, I'll give you this, I'll give you this. Now I can't gamble no more because I'm done. And then it finally dawns on me to actually go get the players and really have that sheet and make the 50%. So I do it through a good buddy of mine. I find like 20 gamblers and now I'm making the 50% off of those guys. And
But are you on the hook if they don't pay?
You're totally on the hook if they don't pay.
So now you're a bookie basically.
Basically, you're a sub-agent and yes, you're a bookie.
Because from my personal experience, when I've kind of seen this role before, especially when within the gambling community, there's something called vouching.
Yes.
And so if I bring somebody and he doesn't pay, I'm on the hook for
You're
it.
on the hook.
So there's always
But that's the
risk.
reason you're making the 50% because you are on the hook, right?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Right. So big risk, big reward, right? I get on that side of the business. And that's when things started to turn for me. Okay, now I'm rolling because now, even if my guys, right, are not losing, your money influx, it's amazing because there's money coming from every angle. You know, and then you can always, you know, let's just say my bottom figure for the week is 30K and I only got to give the bookie 15. Let's just say I only collected 15. You can always just tell the guy, I'll float 5 for next week. So now you got 5K in your pocket. You know, until you collect whatever. So the money influx is what like attracts you because there's money constant every week, which is a good thing.
Cash flow.
Cash flow. Just like in every ordinary business, your cash flow is everything.
You took money from Peter to pay Paul. I have a
Numerous
question.
times.
When you won that 200,000, did you get paid the full amount?
Full amount.
They snap paid you.
Funny story. I'm living on the second floor of my grandmother's building, right? So it's a local guy, you know, Italian dude. My bell rings 7 a.m. Monday morning. Now the week for a gambler is over on Sunday. Sunday night, last game, pack it in, that's the week, right? So the new week starts on Monday. My bell rings 7 in the morning. Me. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I come out, I buzz the guy in. He throws this brick of money at me, but now he throws it up the stairs. So when he throws it, he goes, here, you motherfucker. He throws it and it busts in the hallway. There's money everywhere. My grandmother and my aunt run outside and they're like, oh my God. I'm like, just put that shit all in a in a garbage bag. I'm going back to sleep. I didn't, like, you know, it was still surreal to me that, you know, I won that type of money, and I'm just like, Grandma, just put it all in a garbage bag. I'll see you later. I went back to bed because I was exhausted.
That's crazy that he just showed up at 7 a.m. because, you know, one of the reasons why like FanDuel and DraftKings are so big is because there's a lot of instances where the bookies won't pay. It's happened to me before. I know it's happened to other people. With FanDuel, you know you're getting paid wherever you're like.
That must be like a recent thing because I've never seen that. Personally, I'm just being honest. Every
Never
bookie
seen that.
I've never heard of a bookie not pay you.
Of course, that happens to me one time too. Both ways. You got players that don't pay, and then there's nothing you can do. That's why I don't.
Yeah, you're sharp. They know I'm a retard.
That's the thing.
They're like, this Chinese kid is really smart. We're not paying him. This Italian retard, don't worry about him. Pay him every time. He's coming back.
Bookies don't pay. Players don't pay. It's retarded.
I've only heard of players not
business.
paying, bro. I never heard of a
The bookie's not paying because
bookie
you're too
not paying.
sharp. The bookie's not paying because there's bots. The bookie's not paying because you don't want to pay. It's retarded.
Yeah, but see, look what you're saying. You're coming from a different perspective, like bots. Like, we didn't even know what the hell that shit was. You know what I mean? Like, we're just opening up a newspaper. Oh, the Jets are 6 today, and you're betting against them. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't know all the things that you younger guys know, the technology that you guys have, and the information that you guys have.
You know what's the worst thing you can do as a sports bettor? When you win 200,000, the guy comes and pays you. When you lose, and you don't give him nothing back, they're gonna kill you.
Once again, lost a couple of 100,000 a bunch of times and was like, you know, you give people kind of like the runaround, like, oh, don't worry, give me till Thursday, because usually you pay like on a Thursday, right? Yes. So the weekend's on Sunday night, you pay by Thursday.
Agree.
Yeah, you'll agree to some bullshit that you're never gonna hold up to. Like, yeah, I'll see you Thursday, and then somehow Thursday you're in Florida or some shit.
So
like, it's never happening.
And you don't have his money. What did you do? What did he say? He wasn't mad?
So the guy you beat that paid you 200,000, you lost to him. You didn't have 200,000 to give back to him.
At least 3 times. I lost 100, and didn't have any of it.
That guy must want to kill you.
You make do because, you know, I'm in the world, so, you know, I can always muster up a 20. Or you go borrow, and a more interesting thing, you go borrow 20K and pay juice on that money just to satisfy that bookie, so maybe he'll open the account up again so you can keep firing. You know what I mean? It really is a borrow from Peter to pay Paul type of deal.
They don't care anyway. They're free rolling anyway. If you pay, you pay. If you don't, who cares? You fish.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're John dead.
Straight fish.
Going back to sports, how do you go from sports to poker? Because from my personal experience, I went from poker to sports.
So with those same dudes I'm telling you about, these Italian dudes, there was like a social club on my block, right? So, you know, you go by, you know, like Bronx Tale. Yeah, have the keys to my car, go park it. You're like, bro, I'm like 13 years old. What do you mean park your car? I don't know how to drive. You know, and then you'd go in there and just watch, and they'd be playing gin, and they'd be playing a couple of Italian games that I never understood. And then we would ask, like, oh, can we play? And they'd be like, oh, let's play this game, poker. And then we'd start playing like $1, $2. And it'd be 6 or 7 of us, me and younger kids and 2 or 3 older guys. And they'd probably clean us out, and, you know, we'd laugh about it. Because poker, to me, I didn't know it was a skill game until I really started playing.
How did you guys get good at poker is the real question. Like, because I really believe, like, for me, there was like a moment where like everything just changed, okay? Like in cards, after you understand the game, you understand the math, and then you understand playing the player. But then like there's a moment in your poker career, I guess, where like, for me, a switch flipped and I was like, oh.
I don't know about you. I'll let Alan go first. I don't know if that ever switched. I don't know.
The first year I played poker, I lost money. And that was it. After that, I played every day. I never had a losing year, but I mainly play like cash games.
How did you go from losing that first year to like what?
That's
changed?
interesting, right? Because if I lost the first year out of the gate,
might not go
I might
back
have not played.
So you're saying you just won from the jump?
So I'll explain. It was just a basic feel for me. There was no logic behind it like you younger guys. Like it was just a feel, and I was always good with numbers, and I was always good at like board games and shit like that. Like so, I was interested in it, and yes, just I won out of the gate. Yeah, and I just ran with it. And you hear from your boys, oh, there's a game going here. All right, let me go. All right, there's a game going here. Let me go.
And this is all limit hold'em.
So I started out playing limit, all types of like board games, like cross and, two here, two up, three down, all these stupid games. And then when I got to a casino, I only played limit hold'em because it was just about the time where the fad that, these assholes are wearing sunglasses and a hoodie. And I'm like, I can't stand.
You're an old man. Because when I got into poker, only the old men played limit hold'em, and it's like supposed to be an old person's game. And everyone was like, nah, this game is slow and boring.
No, you guys are like the douchebags to us older guys, like that are sitting there, like, it's Hollywooding and tanking. And I'm like, that shit ain't for me. So I ain't doing that.
I asked about you. You're one of the most famous limit hold'em players.
Where?
On the East Coast.
On one block.
They told me, Bronx, Borgata.
Yeah, Borgata. Let's dive into the story. So Borgata, I played there for 13 years straight.
13 years.
Every weekend. Ranging between 20-40 limit hold'em and 40-80 limit hold'em. Sometimes they played 81-60 limit hold'em. So usually, 40-80.
And that means, so for the viewers, 40-80 means the biggest bet you can put in, or the bet you have to put in is
the big bet on the turn is $80.
$80.
So
it's
you
either
could
40 or 80.
Right, and you could raise 4 times. So it would be 80, 160, 240, 320, max out.
How do you bluff people in this game?
You can't.
It's not about bluffing, it's more semi-bluffing and just playing your hand aggressively where you're gonna get paid on all your big hands, you know what I mean? And try to jam the pot with, your biggest hand.
Was this what you were doing for a living? Every weekend, 40-80.
So no, I was booking. Now I get to being about 21 and now I'm booking action for real. So I tell the guy that I'm giving the action to at this point, like, listen, no, nobody's betting no more. And now I'm booking it myself. Because I started to realize I'm giving this guy 50%, but they're losing every single week. These guys cannot win. I got about 40 to 50 players at this time and they cannot win. And then I get introduced to the Borgata and my whole life changes.
What happened?
So I get down there, I start going, and I start meeting people that want to gamble. And now my business goes from like 40 guys to like 100 guys.
How do you keep track of 100 people betting with you?
Complicated. So the story about the Borgata is now I have a bunch of guys. They're betting with me every week, right? They range, $150, $200 account to a $10,000 account, right? And I'm playing 40-80 limit hold'em, and I basically am moving in the Borgata like I own the place. I have a backpack on me, 100K in the bag. People are coming up to my table, gamblers. I'm just paying them right at the table, never thinking that there's anybody paying attention to this.
Yeah, at the casino with the eyes in the skies, no one's paying attention.
Yeah, because you have this
They don't
feeling. Yeah, you kind of have this feeling like nobody gives a shit. You know what I mean? And then this is where everything changes. The Borgata, the gaming commission, puts an undercover cop into my card game to get him to bet with me.
So they're trying to set you up. They're trying to put
For
an end to
months
this.
they were trying.
This is before FanDuel and
Way before FanDuel, way before any of these things. So a buddy of mine tells me, oh, this guy wants to bet. I'm like, oh, whatever. He wants like a $1,500 account. At this point, I'm doing it for him. I don't even care. I don't even need it. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, whatever, come on. So I give the guy an account. We become friends. See him every week, settle the figure. He plays in my poker game. We go eat together. We're hanging out. We
in the
talk.
Borgata.
In the Borgata. So I'm in the Borgata every Thursday till Sunday for 13 years straight. Free rooms, all the good stuff. I'm there. This guy and me become pretty tight for about a year and 2 months. And then I go to Jamaica with my wife. We're on vacation. I come back, it was Easter weekend. The guy owes me like a couple of $1,000 he lost for the week. I call him up and I go, hey, what are you doing, bud? I don't want to say his name, but I call him up, I go, hey, what are you doing, bud? I'll be at Borgata on Friday. Take care of the thing, take care of the figure. So he goes, I go, how are you? How was your weekend? And he tells me, I was good, busy, I was running around with the kids. And my heart sinks.
Why? What's wrong with running around with the kids?
So I know this gentleman for a year. He only has one son. We speak about his son all the time, soccer, how he's growing, he's only 2 or 3 years old, how he's, and my mind says to me, you could never misconstrue kids with a kid. You could never. And now my wife goes, but what if his brother was there for the weekend, for Easter? I say, he would have said, my brother's kids were here. He used the word kids so fluent that it creeped me out. So I start calling, I call Alan,
I remember that.
I call a
You
bunch
called
of
me right
people and I'm
away.
like, dude, I'm freaked out. There's something wrong with this guy.
I remember that phone call. You called me,
And then
and I was like, "You're overthinking. You're going crazy."
you thought I was nuts.
thought you
You
were
thought I was nuts. And 5 different people tell me, bro, you are bugging. Like that's,
So then, what did you do?
so I have to come to a decision what I'm gonna do, right? And I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening to nobody. I go with my own gut. I say, I'm gonna go meet this guy and I'm gonna shake his hand and I'm gonna say, I'm a good person. I was booking your sports bets. I know you're a police officer.
That's what you told him?
I told him
Just
just,
like
like,
that?
that. I said his name and I said, buddy, I know you're a cop.
What was your reaction? What did he say?
His response was, you're out of your mind. What's wrong with you, brother? We're friends and all these things. And I just said, listen, man, I'm a good person. I know what's going on here. And I told him about the kids thing. I said, buddy, you told me you were running around with kids, which means to me that you're playing a role. I see it because you only have one son and you could never make that mistake. Trust me, you're a cop. I understand. And let's just get it over with. This is a Friday. I go into Borgata, I play, he don't come. 7 days later, there was about 2 helicopters and about 50 cop cars that kicked my door in outside my house. Raid my house, tie, everybody gets zip tied, come in, guns blazing, beams on the guns, get on the ground. I was actually awake because it came at 4:30. I was leaving to the Borgata because I leave at 5 a.m. and I was already awake. And I was already like downstairs getting ready and I seen it happening on the camera and then they came in and
That must have been a pretty terrifying experience for you and your family.
100%. That's crazy.
yeah, it was
All this for
it was
sports?
a bad experience to look over and see your wife zip tied, see your kids crying, and yeah.
But why would they send in this much cavalry over sports?
Well, I believe when you're Italian and you have a vowel on the end of your name, they're looking to kill you as it is because, it's that whole mafia, like whatever, like they think you're in the mob and meanwhile you're just a lonely guy. You're by yourself and you're booking sports.
That makes a lot of sense.
So that happens. And now when I'm zip tied in the house, I see a kid that used to play 2040 in my house,
So there was
another agent. And I look over at the kid and I'm like, holy shit, I've played with this kid before.
But the guy that your friend was not
No,
there.
no, he wasn't there. He couldn't be. It's a conflict of interest. He can't be there. So that kid, who was an Indian kid, I believe, he came over to me and he whispered to me, I can't really talk to you because my boss is here. He said, but he told me the guy's name. He said, so-and-so said, it's not personal. It's just our job. And I was like, nah, I understand, man. It's all good. Tell him I said it's all good, man.
How much money do you think they spent on this operation? Because
They had a camera running 24/7 outside my house on a telephone pole. They had, and the lawyers told me that camera cost So their total investigation, it cost them over $1 million to follow me.
Yeah, that's definitely.
They lost money. Like every other person, they lost money bothering with me. So now I get arrested. They bring me down to Atlantic City, and it's bugged out, dude, because they bring you into some like covert operation thing where it's under the ground. This is not a police station. So the gaming commission has their own section, like underground, under the casinos in there. They bring me to some place, and it looks like, you know, they're gonna give you a beating in there. You know what I mean? Like, so they bring me into this room by myself. I'm waiting there, like, you know, lights go on like on television and shit. So I'm waiting. A guy comes in. He hits play on a tape recorder, and he's like, so we're gonna talk about such and such. And I said, I have nothing to say to you. Call my lawyer. He goes, press stops on the thing. He leaves. About 5 minutes later, now I'm a big guy. And at the time, I was probably about 300 pounds. So I'm a big guy. This guy comes in. He's jacked up, very intimidating guy. He bangs the chair on the ground. He sits on it backwards, and he's staring at me. And you know, like when somebody's doing stuff like that, like you're nervous. So like, you know, I mean, I kind of just laugh. I'm like,
You were nervous?
I was nervous for sure. I thought he was gonna give me a beating. So I was like, I bust out into laughing, and I'm like, I guess he was a good cop. You're the bad cop that's gonna come in here and toss me around and give me a beating. And he's like, nah, man. He's like, actually, I came in here. They had my phone tapped, and one of my boys was gonna shoot somebody, and I talked them out of it on the phone, and he would have done a ridiculous number in jail, and I saved his life. And the guy was like, I just want you to know, we know you're a really good person, but unfortunately, this is your situation. You're in a lot of trouble. So here, let me add another part to that story that's crazy. So we're about halfway. Now there's 2 agents and me in a minivan. They're driving me from my house, which is about an hour and 20 minutes from Borgata. We're driving down to Borgata, right? And at the time, I'm doing all types of stuff. You know, I got a lot of stuff going on. So the guy goes to me, I wanna show you a picture and I wanna play you a tape. So I don't answer because I've already been arrested before. I've been to jail before. I already know how to deal with cops. I don't speak to them. So he hits play on a tape recorder, and it's a voice I've heard before. And he pulls out a picture and goes, tell me what you know about this kid, and we'll let you go.
They would drop the whole case that they've spent
The
$1 million
whole
on
thing that
for whoever
this
they showed
kid
you.
who was apparently trying to have me set up and robbed. So in the tape, the kid says, when the white boy comes, throw him in the trunk, and we're gonna extort, and we're gonna call somebody, and they're gonna pay to let him go. And he goes, this kid, now this specific individual already owed me a ridiculous amount of money from gambling and all types of other stuff that I was doing. And he goes, tell me what you know about him, and I promise you, I'll sign something right now, I'll let you go.
That must be a bad kid that they want. They don't want you.
Yeah,
They want him.
And I looked him right in the face. I remember it was like 5:45, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was just like, I don't know him.
They must
And
be
he's
crazy.
like, I just played you a tape with your voice on it. We know you know him. We know you've done business with him. I said, yeah, that's crazy because I don't know him.
What did they
But
say?
as a human, you don't even have like that temptation of breaking your own code, let's say, because because personally, like I've never experienced that, but you know, I may have my own code.
Yeah. I'm sure everybody's got their own, like, you know, code
Number
they
one, you
live
might
by.
go to jail. Number two,
the
you're gonna
thing
spend
is,
so much money on lawyers. Number three,
so I spent $100,000 on lawyers. And I grew up in a place where if you're a snitch, you're gonna get shunned from the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like, it don't work that way where I'm from. You actually care about what people think about you. And to be honest with you, I care about what I think about me. Like, I still gotta look in the mirror every day. You know what I mean? And I just couldn't tell on somebody, even though he was trying to rob me and still owed me a ridiculous amount of money. And I just couldn't even think about it. I was like, nah, I'm good, man. Like, you know, I don't got nothing to say to you guys. And they were pissed. That is what made them come for me more, because this kid was involved with all types of drugs and guns and all types of crazy shit.
They wanted him.
And they
don't want
wanted him bad. And I just had nothing to say.
you. So what ended up happening?
So fast forward, I fight a case all throughout COVID. So I'm lucky because they're pushing it back further and further. They open up that I'm facing 10 years in prison. Now remember, I hire a whole legal team to like, you know, it's like 4 different guys. They're coming in, they're battling for me. Right before I'm about to take a deal, which is about 3 years, which I would have served 18 months in a facility in Jersey, the judge looks at my lawyer and goes, did you propose him for drug court? Now, if anybody don't know what drug court is what they'll give you as an alternate sentence if you're a drug user. So my lawyer's like, well, no. And so we go in the back little room, you know, where the lawyers talk and stuff. And I'm like, why didn't you put me in for drug court? And he's like, you're not a drug addict. And I'm like, who gives a shit? If she's giving me a way to get out of this, let's do it. He's like, you still have to go and they gotta like, you know, interview you and see if you're eligible. I'm like, don't worry, I'll take care of it. I come from a super like complicated background. So when I go to the interviewer, he's like, oh, you're in. I wind up getting 5 years probation, 5 years in the drug program, instead of doing 3 years in prison.
That's a win. I'll take that all day.
The only problem with that win is I am banned from Atlantic City.
Oh, no. So you
Atlantic
can't-
City, the wheels of my car cannot go into the city. If they do, I get arrested.
So you can't even go to eat.
You can't go nowhere. I couldn't go to my friend's house if he lived in Atlantic City.
Yeah, that place is a shithole anyway. Who wants to go there?
Yeah, no one wants to go there. I'm from the West Coast. I grew up going to Vegas, like my family trips to Vegas. And then when I heard about Atlantic City, when I first came over here, I went over there. I was like, who goes to this place?
Total shithole.
And
It's like homeless.
But now they've taken away the Borgata from me. They've taken away the only way that I was networking. Via playing cards, you know what I mean? You're making money and doing all this other stuff, but my network of guys is now gone, because now I can't even tell you how much money is owed to me, because now once you get arrested, forget it. Nobody wants to talk to you. Everybody, they think you're this, you're a snitch, you're a million different things when you get arrested. And nobody knows the real story. And I just gave you the exact story. And I was owed all kinds of money from, you know, and I lost the whole business because I was not allowed to step back in there.
So now you got Parks. Maryland life.
No, now I have parks, but I wouldn't talk about sports in a casino no matter what. I'm done with that life now, so I could talk about it. So, you know, on the show, I can, you know, you can lay it all on the line, because I don't do any of that anymore. I'm just a poker player, and that's it. So that's how I'm surviving today.
That's good.
that's good.
That's an amazing story.
Are you off probation now? Everything's done, or?
Just got off in February, just finished the
congratulations.
program, just finished probation, and things are looking up. And I currently have a lawyer speaking to Borgata to see if I could ever be reinstated.
Well, hopefully you can get back in.
Yeah, you know, that'd be good. So I hear there's a bunch of bad players there, and I hear, you know, Borgata is not the same no more, though, because they're not giving rooms out.
I'll be honest, I don't know how. I have a friend, his name is John. I have another friend, his name is Carmine. These guys, they go to Borgata or Atlantic City like it's their backyard, okay?
They go every 2 days.
That drive is so miserable for me.
It's
I don't
not,
know how you
actually.
guys do
It's
it.
not. It's close.
Well, you're coming from far, right? You're coming from Manhattan. I'm in Jersey already. It's only an hour from my house.
You can go there every day, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could probably go and, you know, go and come back at night. I used to stay over for days, but I could go and drive home at night if I wanted to.
But as you might know, like if you lose, that drive back.
Oh
is
no!
not-
We always had a joke that when you drive. So a funny story. One time I get pulled over leaving Borgata. I get destroyed playing 8160, right? So I'm driving home and I get pulled over on the Atlantic City Expressway, and I'm exhausted. I played for 44 hours straight.
And you're driving home.
Driving home.
44 hours.
Have a function to go to one of my kids. I'm like, I gotta go home. Played 44 hours straight. And you shower in the middle, you know, you go upstairs, you shower, you come down, you eat, but I never slept. I'm driving on the Atlantic City Expressway. I get pulled over. It's a lady cop. She goes, license registration. She's like, do you know why I pulled you over? And I'm like, no. And she goes, you were doing 13 miles an hour on the expressway.
You're going too fast.
I was doing 13 on the expressway. I might as well have been sleeping at the wheel.
So what kind of ticket did she write you?
She gave me a warning and was like, you shouldn't be driving if you're exhausted. I explained to her I've been playing for a long time and I was tired. And she's like, you shouldn't be driving like this. Maybe
44 hours is a record.
she said, maybe you should turn around and go back to the casino and go to sleep. But I said, no, I think this getting pulled over woke me up. So I'm going to drive home now. 13 miles an hour. First guy to get pulled over for doing under 20.
I was expecting you to say something crazy like you're going too fast.
No.
You're trying to get home. 13 miles per hour.
Yeah, so getting pulled over for driving too slow.
You said you got crushed that session. How much did you lose after playing 44 hours?
44 hours, I probably lost between 12 and 13,000.
44 hours must be a record. What's the most you ever win in these limit hold'em games? 80, 160 or?
Yeah, how much can you even win?
Yeah.
Over the course of a weekend, I've won over 20, a couple of times.
What's the most you ever lost?
13.
13 again?
12 or 13,000, and I got pulled over for doing 13 miles an hour.
That must be your favorite number.
Yeah, no, listen, I mean, to lose, that amount in the games I play is a lot of money. So that means I was either playing really bad, once you're tired, playing like shit probably, and, it snowballs really quick. So, but yeah, I did have a bunch of 20K wins for sure. And then in Vegas, I played 200, 400 limit and I've won like 40, 50,000 for the week. So, I've had some pretty big wins.
Big wins. I know something about those.
Let's hear a story from you, Joe, because I know you got a couple.
Most I ever won in a poker game, I think, was...
In a 10-hour session.
I'm trying to think. I mean, in Brooklyn, when we played those sessions with like
We
the
played 3 days
waiters,
straight.
with those waiters.
Yes, the Chinese waiters.
I played close to 72 hours.
The only 2 English-speaking people in the game are you and Alan.
No, Alan's like I said, he's a disciplined human. He has due responsibilities. He'll play, he'll go home, sleep, take care of everything he has to do. The same game that we started playing, I haven't left. I'm still playing. Okay.
So you're there. You're like me. You're not
I'm there.
leaving the game.
Alan
If there's
leaves,
suckers in the game, you're staying.
comes back. He's fresh. Everyone's tired. He wins whatever he wants to win. Picks up whatever his.
He's got his
3,000.
quota. Alan's got his quota.
He hits his
Makes a couple of
3,000.
thousand, he's out of there.
All right, he's out of there. Okay?
He's a thief in the night.
And I'm texting Alan. I'm like, yo, you have to. It's like 9 a.m. This is 2 days in. I'm texting him. I'm like, yo, you have to come right now because the whale in the game has too many chips and like it's a really great opportunity. He's fresh again. Comes back, goes bang, bang, bang. Okay. That particular game, I ended up winning like 125,000 in a 5-5 no limit holding game,
Holy
which sounds
shit.
crazy.
That
But it's not
sounds
like
crazy.
a normal 5-5 though. It's like,
Yeah, but that's just still
25.
astronomical.
But I played 72. Close
so both
to
of you, when
72
you guys
hours.
play poker, if there's a whale in the game,
No
you guys are
leave.
not leaving?
Can't leave. It's a
Well,
spot.
today it's different because I'm tired. But no, in those days, no, I'm never leaving. If there's a sucker in the game, I'm staying to take every dollar.
Because he's gonna. Because
Eventually he's
here's,
going to lose it, yeah.
no, yeah. Because eventually he'll lose it, and you don't know if he'll come back, and you don't know how deep his pockets are. Let's say, and so that's because poker, in my opinion, is a zero-sum game. So like the money stays within the economy, but if he loses it to someone else that you won't be able to win it off, let's say, then you just left yourself out an opportunity.
Interesting thing that I always felt with me at a poker table was, I don't know how your table like presence is, but I was always well liked. So I had this knack where like the biggest sucker in the game loved giving me their money. And when they had me beat, they didn't want my money.
That's crazy.
Like a terrific dynamic because you are there every week and you are so friendly to people. It's like, I couldn't ask for anything more.
Me personally, I have a great relationship with like the whales or the action guys, let's say,
Okay.
right? Because I understand the game because all they want at the end of the day is someone to return the action to.
And are you an action player?
Of course, I give them action all day. I have no problem losing to those guys. The people who don't like me on the table are actually like.
So this guy's
grinders
not
and
liked.
it's-
What are you talking
He's
about? I'm the most
actually hated.
liked. No.
No,
Dude, you sit there, wait for a good hand, and you're done.
but he's kind of like
actually
you.
like you. I promise you. They
Okay.
don't mind losing. They never say anything bad about him, but they
Here-
They
hate
hate
him.
him.
Here's the difference. The grinders, the nits, the regs, they hate me, okay?
Why?
But I love beating them. In fact, it gives me more joy to beat those guys than to beat the whale.
Wait a minute, hold on. So do you like beating Alan?
You can't
Alan
beat
can't
me.
beat me.
You can't beat me. This guy's fish.
Alan doesn't want the smoke. He knows. If we go into deep waters,
Yeah.
okay?
Deep waters.
You know, because for
You're
me,
John
poker
Dead.
is a battle,
Yeah.
okay? If we go into deep waters, I take him to places he hasn't been because he's actually well respected on the table, both on like within the community as well, okay? So people don't mind. They have they put him on a higher pedestal. So like if they lose to him, they're like, this is normal me losing to Alan, okay? And Alan doesn't really like talk shit to people, you know. And
Where you do.
And he doesn't really like he takes slowly from you, okay? I try to go for the one shot kill, and when I take it all,
Are you a shit talker?
I don't talk shit until they talk shit to me first. But if they start talking shit to me, or they say something, or something irks me, my mouth just goes off. So
I'm the same way. I don't talk shit, but if they start talking shit, I'm
Yeah,
chirping
see,
back.
I don't talk shit at all. Even if you talk shit to me, I don't say much back. I don't
no,
really got
but it
nothing to
depends
say.
what kind of shit talking. Because I'm not really trying to talk shit.
Yeah, well, you guys
to,
are
like-
comfortable, like, you know, talking shit. With me, it's probably going to escalate to a fight. So I'm
Yeah, no,
probably
I'm not
I
trying
don't want to get
I'm not-
involved.
It's not fighting words. It's more like let's spice up the table. You know, it is a social thing, the poker table. So I don't want to just sit there, see the guys with the sunglasses on. I'm not.
The
you know,
psychological part behind it all is kind of fucked up if you think about it, right? Because you're there to take everybody's money.
Of course.
Right? So I always tell people in the game, I tell everybody, even now, people at Parks know, I tell every one of them, I think you all suck. And that's the truth.
That's how you're
And
supposed
they're
to
like,
think.
why do you say that? And I'm like, because if I thought you were better than me, I shouldn't be sitting here.
But here's the crazy
I think
thing.
yous are all terrible. I wouldn't go play basketball with Michael Jordan because he's gonna bust my ass, right? So I don't do that. So I don't sit in a game where I know everybody's better than me.
But here's the thing: everyone thinks they're Michael Jordan, and if they're not Michael Jordan,
Yeah,
they
but
think
but
that they.
how did Michael
gambling,
Jordan
luck
get?
aspect.
How did Michael Jordan get to be Michael Jordan? His stats, his numbers. I'll accept my stats over theirs.
So you're saying you're the best limit hold'em player in the world?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm
Well,
saying
poker's a weird
predominantly any limit hold'em game I sit in, I am a better player than most of the field. I don't think, I'm sure there's young guns in California that can try to run me over, right? But I'm confident that I could sit in any game at any limit. I don't care what it is, 200, 400, 500, 1,000. If you told me right now one of the best players in the world wanted to sit and I had the role to play 1,000, 2,000, I would play Phil Ivey. I don't
So here's
care.
what we're gonna do.
It doesn't matter to me.
After we finish recording, the three of us are gonna go play, and we're gonna see who wins. And we're gonna let the viewers know in the comment who won. So you guys can take a guess who's gonna
You
win.
guys are drawing dead.
But there's three players. I'm one of the top three. I'm not
This
second
is
or
one,
third.
this is two, this is three. Who's gonna win? Three.
Definitely not.
I think you're drawing dead, all of you.
Yo, Vito, thanks for coming on. Appreciate you.
Of course, my brothers. I love you guys, man. Thank you for having me, man. That was awesome.
Thank you to the viewers for watching. Please subscribe and like. We're gonna post more content like this. Hopefully, we'll have guests who are as interesting as Vito.